हेलो फ्रेंड्स। मैं नेम शरद कुमार सामंत राय। आज की क्लास में हम कंज्यूमर प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट 2019 पढ़ेंगे। कंज्यूमर प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट 2019 प्रोवाइड्स various provisions to our customers and services and to the sellers and service providers. They also provides various provisions under the Consumer Protection Act 2019 is providing very helpful to every type of consumers like direct consumer, indirect consumer, online consumer, and any other services. In this act, a consumer have a wide area of protections from fraud or misrepresentation, and with respect to Consumer Protection Act 1986. Okay. In present time, the demand and expectation of consumers have changed. In present time, the demand and expectation of consumers have changed due to the increasing awareness and globalization of our market, so that the protection of consumers' rights are more important. The 1986 Consumer Protection Act, almost 3 decade plus old, so that there is also need of a new act. The new and 2019 Consumer Protection Act replaced it, and the new Protection Act published in the official gazette on 9 August 2019 after it received the assent of President of India. There is various differences between last Consumer Protection Act 2086 and the new Protection Act 2019. In 1986 Act there is no provisions, and in 2019 there is 6 provisions to our customers. Narrowing the scope in 1986, there is various less of scope. It covers only 6 types of unfair trade practices or defective trade practices. They are only for referring to sellers. While as Consumer Protection Act 2019 is broader in scope, it add more than 3 new unfair trade practices. In 1986 Act, there is no provisions for product liability, while the new 2019 Act consists provisions for product liability. In 1986 Act, there is no provision for unfair contracts and practices, while in new Act there is also contains provisions for unfair practices. Okay. And there were no provisions for e-commerce in 1986 Act, but in 2019 Act contains specific provisions for e-commerce and direct selling to customers. The next is in 1986 Act, lower pecuniary limits of direct district forum up to 20 lakh, and state up to state there is 20 to 20 lakh to 1 crore, and up national above 1 crore. But in new act there is district redressal capacity is up to 1 crore, and then state capacity is 1 crore to 10 crore, then and national capacity is more than 10 crore. The commission is now more working than previous act. However, the pecuniary limits of district from up to 1 crore, the consumer protection will be more strong. as per the district level. Then the role of a Central Protection Council in 1986 was to promote and protect to sellers' provisions. And in new 2019 Act, it is a advisory body. It is a new advisory body for the promotion and protection of consumers' rights and their satisfaction. All the activities of consumers they will be provided by in new act. Next, in 1986 Act, there are no provisions for alternative disputes resolution mechanism. The in new 2019 Act contains provisions for mediation and alternative disputes of resolutions. In old Act, no regulator was in existence. In the new Act, the regulator by the name of a Central Consumer Protection Authority shall be established. Okay. The next is a person to comply with the order of a commission could face imprisonment between 1 month and 3 years, or a fine between 2000 to 10,000, or both in case of old act, that is 1986 Consumer Protection Act. In new act in 2019 Consumer Protection Act, a person failing to comply with the order of a commission can face imprisonment up to 3 years or fine not less than 25,000, which is may extend to 1 lakh or both. There is a very much interesting part. Hmm. Then next in to 1986 Act for the solution of members in Consumer Dispute Redressal Commission, different committees were prescribed, but in 2019 Act there is no provisions for settlement for a committee. There is only the central government can power to appoint the members for the protection of consumers. Okay, and there is also central protections authorities. Central protection authorities is the there is okay, protection authority. Okay, Central Consumer Protection Authority. It covers all the basic products liabilities like manufacturing defect, design defect, divisions, and deviation from manufacturing satisfaction, a specification, non-conforming to express warranty, failing to contain adequate instructions for the correct use or services provider, fully imperfect or defect. Okay, these are the basic product liabilities covered by Central Consumer Protection Authority. The authority is being constituted under the section 10(1) of Consumer Protection Act 2019. The most of aim is to protect the rights of the consumer by checking down the unfair trade practices and false and misleading advertisements that are detrimental to the interest of the public and consumers. They also empowered to conduct investigation into violation of consumer rights and institute complaints and provisions also. They also order or recall of unsafe goods and services, order discontinue of unfair trade practices, misleading advertisements, impose penalties on manufacturers or misleading advertisements. Okay, then dispute resolution process is they have the various dispute resolution processes like alternate dispute resolution mechanism or ADR is a mechanism of a dispute resolution that is non-adversarial, that is working together cooperatively to reach the best resolution for everyone. It is deemed to be admissible after 21 days of fulfilling empowerment of consumer commissions to enforce their orders. The alternative dispute redressal can be instrumental in reducing the burden of liability on courts while delivering a well rounded and satisfying expression for the parties involved. Okay. The resolution of a dispute takes place usually in private, helping maintain confidentially. It is more viable, economic and efficient. Yes, of approaching consumer commission, filing from place of residence work, e-filing, video conferencing, are various activities. There are also procedure fixation save valuable time and money and absences of the consumer, and it provides less stress to current and say near to the consumers. ADR is then we know that ADR is only distributed in four types. These are arbitration, conciliation, mediation, negotiation. The arbitration functions are the disputes is submitted to an arbitral tribunal which makes a decision on disputes that is mostly binding on the parties. Okay. Then conciliation is a less formal form of arbitration, a non-binding procedure in which an impartial third party and conciliator assist the parties. In the conciliation, there is a third party assist to the parties to a dispute in reaching a military satisfaction category, agreed settlements of the disputes. Then mediation, the last in mediation, and impartial person called mediator mediator helps the parties try to reach a mutually acceptable resolution of a dispute. It mediates sales to attach the consumer commission. Make a panel of mediators to be selected by the selected committee consuming consisting of a president and a member of a consumer protection. The panel will be only constituted by the central government. Mediation to be held in consumer mediation cell also. Okay. The next is simplified dispute resolution process. It can be simply within 21 days of filing, empowering consumer commission to enforce the orders to both parties involved in the disposal. State commission and district commission can now review their own orders before the last act in new act provides more power to state commission and district commissions. Appeals only questions on law after second stage. Appeals in this resolution, the customer will be filed in any near to his or her court or stations, any commissions. Yes, of approach the consumer commission can be filed from place of residence. E-filing also available for the new age. Video conferencing and a hearing also available in case of any in the long distance between consumer and seller. Okay. The product liability. The product liability is manufacturing defect, design defect, deviation from manufacturing specification, not conforming to express warranty, failing to certain adequate instructions for correct use, services provided faulty, impact and deficient. These are the basic liabilities to seller, a manufacturer or service holders. Then the benefits to the consumer is there is the various benefits than last Consumer Protection Act 1986. In 2019, 2019 Act provides mostly six provisions like regulator, consumer court, product liability, pecuniary jurisdiction, e-commerce, special rules, mediation sales, and it also provide various facilities uh, to the consumers. This act is applicable to all kind of goods and services or unfair trade practices, manufacturing products or misleading products, misrepresentation products and fraud. It cover all sectors of economy, that is public sector, private sector, cooperative sector. It provides consumer redressal systems in three tier consumer places like district level, state level and national level. It provides recognition of all consumer rights, and it provides direct punishment um, to the sellers or service holders. Then next is there is some rules and regulations to both parties. There is some general rules. There is Central Consumer Protection Council rule, Consumer Dispute Redressal Commission rules, appointment of a president and member in state dispute, state or district commission rule, mediation rule, model rules for state, e-commerce rules. Some regulations are there: Consumer Commission procedure regulation, mediation regulation, administrative control over state commission and a district commission regulator.